there, Jets fans. Welcome to episode number 48 of the JetStream podcast. I am Travis Rubenik. Today is November 2nd. I'm here with Joe Clark and Neil Noonan. How are your Halloweens, boys? Do anything special?
Not a thing.
No? Not a thing? Neil, how about you?
Our boys had tryouts.
Yes.
But, I came home around maybe 8 p.m., and, I didn't expect to see a lot of trick-or-treaters, but I saw zero.
Really?
Zero.
Really? Our house was bumping on Friday, apparently.
But, at 8 p.m., is that too late now?
It's probably getting...
I completely forget what the time is.
The really young kids are normally going at, 6 o'clock, right around dinner time, because there's, some really young... I remember my mom said that there was some coming by at their place at, 5 p.m., early, little kids, so... I don't know.
What time do your nieces go?
I have no idea.
Oh, well.
Probably early, around 6 o'clock, I'm assuming.
They're fetuses, basically.
Yeah, they're still tiny.
The crazy thing is, for me, is thinking about how much snow there was when I used to go.
I remember vividly
6-foot snowbanks.
Yeah, I remember snow.
And putting on your costumes over top of your parka.
Yeah, classic. Yeah. Snow pants, snow boots, everything. You have to buy your costume 3 sizes too big, yeah.
And we're still having, plus
it was gorgeous
15
this
days.
weekend.
Yeah.
Beautiful weekend.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not complaining, but man, has global warming had its impact.
Yeah. Man, I don't remember seeing any Jet kids, though. I would have expected there to be more kids in, just Jets jerseys.
Yeah, that's a pretty simple costume
little
nowadays.
Andrew Ladd or something like that.
I wonder what do you guys think the most popular costume was this year?
Elsa from Frozen.
Yeah, I think it is. I think I heard that.
Great call. Never even thought of that.
100%. I saw all over Facebook and stuff. It's Halloween drinking game. Take a shot every time Elsa shows up at your front door.
Wow.
You want to know something funny?
Plastered.
Something funny. My niece, she's crazy about Frozen, but she I've never seen the movie, but if any of you have, apparently there's trolls, little trolls that are characters, and they're just
internet trolls or just little actual trolls?
Actual lumpy brown guys with that wear potato sack shirts and have weird necklaces, and that's what my niece wanted to be for Halloween, so she was.
Your niece is an interesting...
Yeah, exactly. Most little 3-year-olds would want to be a princess, but nope, she wanted to be a troll.
Personality shine during Halloween.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love seeing super creative things.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just being a little internet troll for Halloween?
Yeah.
Just walking around with
How would you even dress? Yeah, with a keyboard and stupid grin.
Yeah, I went to a social out in Gimli, and there were actually some pretty good costumes out there. There was a lot of, I don't know, nothing really. My girlfriend's sisters and one of their friends went as 3 of the people from Duck Dynasty, and that's pretty
classic.
Whatever. It's the way it is. But one of them pulled it off. She was Psy. She pulled it off scary well of just how well she just transformed into an old creepy man.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But all right. Neil, I have a legitimate question for you, though.
Sure.
I finished watching season 4 of Breaking Bad the other day.
Nice.
And everything's, nicely wrapped up. Gus is dead.
Yep. Well, spoilers, my goodness. Whoa.
The show's been over for, a year, hasn't it? So
yeah, that's true.
I feel like
there's no excuses.
Yeah, if I just spoiled it for you, just deal with it. Should I even bother watching season 5, or does it ruin stuff?
What are you talking about?
I feel like right now, where I'm at season 4, it just ended. Gus is gone. Everything's wrapped up nicely. Things are okay.
Yeah.
I feel like was season 5 planned to happen the whole time, or did they add it on to make more money?
Oh, it's the exact opposite. Season 5, if you think everything's wrapped up now, season 5, specifically the last 8 episodes of season 5 are the best TV I've ever seen.
So it's worth watching.
100%. You'd be so dumb not to watch it.
Okay, so should I am I going to want to watch them all at once, basically, or?
I'm not a big fan of that. I just don't think you appreciate the episodes as much if you watch them in a row. That's my opinion. Some people binge like crazy. But I got in the habit, specifically with Game of Thrones, but Breaking Bad would do the same thing, just one a night kind of thing. Because then you get a chance to think about it and then trying to think about what's happening next. If you just go next right away,
yeah, that's true.
Then it's just
I'm really not patient like that. So when I watch them, it's usually 2 or 3 in a row.
Especially when they're all right there.
Yeah, it's all right there. I was just oh my god, that just happened. I was like, I can find out what happens next right now. Perfect.
When you're watching on TV, you don't have a choice. But if it's right in front of you, you're just like, well, obviously I'm going to watch the next one.
I need to figure out what happens. Waiting a week to watch The Walking Dead every week just kills me. I want to know what's going to happen.
But I love that because then, especially with the people that do watch it, you get a chance to talk
That's one thing I love Reddit for, is I get to start and even Talking Dead, it's not always the best conversation, but at least he points out little things. And
exactly.
What? I wish I could. Didn't they do the same thing for Breaking Bad? Didn't they have Talking Bad or something?
Yeah.
It
was a podcast for a while, but it's exactly. I love that too. Having that week between episodes to think about what's gonna happen next, talk with your friends who are all up to date and stuff. But to each their own.
Fair enough. So I promise we're gonna talk about hockey at some point.
What? I thought we started a new podcast today.
But I'm just putting it off because I'm so damn tired about talking about this. And it just keeps coming back. And I feel like we need to talk about it, but I really don't want to. But Andrei Pavlik and overreactions to absolutely everything. I'm just so tired of the exact same things happening over and over and over again. And people just saying the exact same things over and over again. And that's why I just want to talk about something else for a little while.
Well,
Pokemon or something.
Pokemon. Shit, I know. I heard they're making new Mega Evolutions.
What?
To Pidgeot and others.
Yeah.
So they're bringing back the originals.
We can all Google that and talk about that for us.
Somebody figure that out. I want to know what's going on here.
Mega Evolutions are such a piss on our childhood.
It is.
Charizard was.
You want to talk about popular costumes back in the day? How many Ash Ketchums were there when Pokemon was going on?
Great that was the one costume that I always wanted to do, but I never actually did.
Yeah, me too. Speaking of, I was teaching a lab on Friday, and one of the other girls that I lab demo with, she hadn't figured out what she was doing for Halloween costumes yet, so we were sitting there and trying to figure it out, and I was just going through and shows like Recess came up and going as the cast from Recess, yes. And then we just went through this.
That'd be hilarious.
Stuff like The Weekenders, and all these old cartoon shows.
The Weekenders.
Do you know what? I loved that show.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And then we're in the lab talking about it, and I'm what? About 3, maybe 4 years older than most of the people in this lab, and we're talking about these shows. Some of these kids in this class had never heard of The Weekenders before.
No,
I was like, how is that possible? You're only a couple years younger than me.
No, man. The Weekenders was legit.
That was the best.
Great show.
But the turnover on those Family Channel shows was pretty quick.
That's true. Say. One of my favorite lines from The Weekenders was the main character is Tony, I think it was.
Tito.
Tito, yeah. Anyways, he there's some girl who wanted to ask him out somewhere or something, and he didn't like her for some reason. I can't remember what it was. And she comes to his door and she's like, "Hey, you want to go do this?" He's like, "Sorry, I have Dutch elm disease. Bye." And slams the door. That's one of my all-time favorite lines from any TV show. "Sorry, I have Dutch elm disease."
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder how many of our listeners right now are like, what the hell are the Weekenders?
Yeah, I don't know, but...
I hope zero.
These kids are making us feel so old.
If you don't know what the Weekends are, tweet us.
Yeah, let us know. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, that was a great show.
What did you guys watch when you were kids? Because,
Recess was a big one.
As we were going through and, Googling all these things and looking at them on Wikipedia, they only lasted for 2 years. They don't have a very long shelf life, but they just kept replaying them, or we just thought they were on forever. Yeah. But, Pokemon seems to just go on forever. I don't know how that's possible, but...
Yu-Gi-Oh! Went on forever, too.
Well, Pokemon caught on a really good thing. They could just keep making more of them.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't... It never stops.
More worlds. Keep the same guy who somehow never gets older. Who's just 10 years old and walks around this giant country by himself.
Yeah.
And his mom's okay with it.
That's just safe.
God. What was Digimon?
Oh, I never watched Digimon. No.
I actually... It was on Netflix. I did this.
Digimon is on
I went on to Netflix one time and I watched the entire first season of it. I was like, wow, this show's actually kind of intelligent. It actually has some sort of deep concept to it. It's not just walking around and collecting these things. And
I never watched Digimon.
I always thought it was a Pokemon ripoff as a kid, but it's actually it's well thought out. What's going on?
Pokemon's the way to go.
But yeah, Pokemon's clearly superior.
Yeah. I would love to visit Poke Park in Tokyo.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
cool.
an actual thing?
It's an actual thing. It has been for a while, yeah.
Is it just Disney World?
It's basically an amusement park for Pokemon. It's like what they do with Harry Potter
and
stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
But imagine if they had wild Pokemon running around.
That'd be...
And you could catch them and stuff.
You could whipping balls at these
Pokemon.
My goodness.
Oh, wow.
That would get out of hand so quickly.
They're just dogs dressed up.
Doesn't China have a crazy wild dog issue or something like that?
I guess that's why they eat them.
Yeah, well, it's possible.
God.
Totally.
We should really start talking about hockey at some point before we
probably.
get in trouble for something. Oh, speaking of getting in trouble, did you hear what Michael Del Zotto did?
Yes.
Oh
my
man. Okay, Joe,
goodness.
if you want to tell this story.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, I didn't. Do you have any of the stuff? Because I didn't put anything.
I don't have
together
any of the tweets put together for it, but
okay.
apparently I'll catch Neil up here.
Yeah.
Please.
Michael Del Zotto.
Great name.
Who's he play for right now?
I don't even know. I couldn't tell
Philly.
you.
He plays in Philly right
Okay,
now.
there
'Cause
you
when what's his name got hurt. He's playing in Philly. This morning, this porn star just started
great start.
Yeah. Great start to a story.
This porn star started tweeting about Michael Del Zotto. It started off with I hate guys who just keep they're clingy or
the
something.
Tweet, no, I think the first tweet that I saw from it was just so in case anyone was wondering, the most annoying texter I've ever had to deal with was at Michael Del Zotto. Hard to believe, I know, and then just goes.
Yeah,
into
and then she
the
goes
story.
off, and apparently Michael Del Zotto, he went out with her one time, and then immediately following their date, or shortly after they'd gone out this one time, and she had explained earlier she doesn't really date because she's in the porn industry, and she just doesn't want to have to acknowledge that awkwardness the entire time. She goes out with guys every once in a while. I'm sure we all know how that date probably ended, but apparently Michael Del Zotto from then on has creeped this girl and just keeps asking her to hook him up with other porn stars in various cities across the NHL and stuff like that, and she keeps saying no and keeps ignoring him and all this other stuff, and they separated and didn't talk for a year, and then she started talking to him again. He just instantly went right back to consistently asking her these things, and it's just so.
I'm reading the tweets now.
Oh,
It's so creepy.
And it's so funny. Sometimes we forget that professionals, sport players, I guess, are human.
Yeah. And can also be immensely creepy. Could you?
Yeah,
that's just, dude.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
First of all, when's the last time you went to a girl that you've either hooked up with or went out with and was like, hey, can you hook me up with a bunch of other girls?
Yeah, I don't.
How do you approach that?
Yeah.
But then again, how many porn stars have you guys dated?
I
I've
guess that's
zero
very
for
true.
me.
I'm gonna have to go with 0 on that.
Yeah.
But
Definitely a 0.
That's
Apparently she also, I was going through her timeline looking at these things. Apparently she tweeted out to some other guy. She's like, it's a big misconception that we're all just cool with handing out each other's numbers to hook up with people. That doesn't happen.
No,
Is there
I don't
porn
see why.
stars?
I don't see why it would. It doesn't really matter what you do for your job. You're not just gonna hand out your coworkers' numbers to everyone
Exactly.
and say, "Oh yeah, go hook up with this."
Oh
guy,
yeah,
this
she's
guy."
gonna have sex with you.
Yeah.
So is she, because that's all we do.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
It's so weird.
Is he new into the league, or is he?
No,
been for a while?
he played for the Rangers.
Yeah,
for
he's
a
with the
while.
Rangers. Yeah,
Because that seems like a rookie thing to do.
I guess.
Yeah, probably. Although if I was a rookie in the NHL and I was sleeping with a porn star, I'd feel like I'm doing something right.
Yeah, no doubt.
She's not making that much money. But, it's just so weird.
Yeah, but hilarious.
You know what's weird? But no, I can't even make that a segue.
I was excited to hear it.
Yeah, I was actually really looking forward to
I
that.
can't do it.
Okay.
Okay, we seriously have to talk about Andre Pavlik, I guess.
Okay, let's talk about Andre Pavlik.
He played really well last night.
Yeah.
Made a lot of saves
I was
in New York.
fully. I was half cut by 10 minutes into the first period, so I'm not going to pretend like I paid too much attention to that game.
Damn it! Well, the first thing I have written down here is get Joe's reaction to the game last night.
Well, there you have it. I was drunk.
Well,
Sorry,
he
guys.
played well. He played well. He played very well, actually. Probably one of the better games I've seen him play. But as always, Pavlik has a good game, or it plays a great game when the rest of the team shit the bed. The Jets as a whole were awful last night.
yeah.
They were brutal.
I heard afterwards remarks.
They looked like
Apparently, yeah. Well,
the Danny Matsons versus
oh
an NHL
no,
franchise.
the Paul Maurice's reaction. His quote was, "The puck was not our friend." Last night.
Yeah,
that was his quote from today, this morning.
It was not good.
So I mean, that gives you an idea. Yeah.
But
have we ever explained the Danny Matsons to?
The Danny Matsons is the awful team that Joe and I played on that we've referenced a million times.
Oh, okay.
That
I wasn't
our
sure if
team
we'd
name.
ever explained it.
I know we've mentioned our team before.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was our beer league team that lasted one season because we got scored 14 goals on us every single game.
We tied one game.
Yeah.
And lost the rest.
Yeah. By a shitload.
Yeah, we were good.
By way too much.
Anyway, so Andre Pavlik played well, but the thing that annoys me, and I think a lot of people see this as I cannot accept Andre Pavlik playing well when it's not the case, is that the second he has a good game, Twitter just blows up with this, see, Andre Pavlik is the best thing ever. It's always the team in front of him kind of bullcrap that it explodes. And I get that people are probably coming back out to all of us who are consistently saying, no, he's a piece of shit, because he is a piece of shit. But you just look like an idiot. No, that's not the case. He is not always standing on his head. Almost never is he standing on his head.
Pretty rare.
More often than not, he's the problem. We've talked about this how many times. I don't understand how this is still out there, that he's the guy. I just don't get why people are still defending this.
People see what they want to see.
But I understand this season as a whole. He's played pretty good. He's done what he's needed to do. He hasn't been fantastic the entire time. There's a reason he's still got like a 908 save percentage or something, despite having pretty much 2 shutouts.
Yeah.
He's been up and down. He's been ridiculously inconsistent. The only time he's had consistency was last year, and it was consistently bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But
Neil liked that one. Oh, burn.
Hey, he's your starting goaltender in fantasy, Neil. So.
Yeah, and he's killing it.
Yeah.
954 this week.
What? That's nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
What's good? Hello, Shife the Knife.
954.
I'm killing it right now. My goalies are the best part of my team.
Oh my goodness.
And McNash, but
that is crazy.
But like, yeah, he's had a good start. How many times have we seen this happen before, though? We've had this exact same discussion at the start of last year when I bet eating a pair of fried socks on the fact that he wouldn't keep it up. And I was immensely correct.
Yeah, you were very right. And I remember talking about saying, hey...
This exact it happens every year.
He had a 918 for like the first couple of weeks. Yeah.
He goes through these streaks of like 10 to 12 games where he looks fantastic. Everyone starts talking, oh, maybe he's turning it around. Good old Pavlik's finally coming through. The old guy's defying the odds and becoming a good goaltender for the first time in his career. And then within a week... and it falls apart.
Yeah.
And everyone's so quick. Like, yeah, I'm not going to try to say that the Jets have a fantastic defensive core. This is a brutal defensive core. We're going to get to that in a bit. But he's not good.
No.
How do you think he's played so far as a whole this year?
I think he's been inconsistent. He's had his good games, obviously, like last night. And he's had his bad games.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's par for the course. Right?
I think... The interesting thing is people are claiming that he could be the Jets MVP to this point in the season. Would you give him that? Because
nobody's really been outstanding.
Exactly.
So, I mean, yeah, you can choose any guy and say, he might be able to be the MVP because he did this, this, and this. And then you could say the same things about one other guy. Nobody's really the MVP right now.
Yeah. I think at this point it's kind of hard to say who would be, but I see where that's coming from. And I'm not going to say people are wrong, because to this point in the year, nobody up front's looked good. The Jets' usual great players have been iffy. If Scheifele was scoring a lot of these opportunities he's had, I'd put him as the Jets' MVP. Same thing with Wheeler. If the two of them were able to finish at all for the first 10 games this season, without a doubt, those two would be your co-MVPs to this point. Mm-hmm. They've been fantastic. They just haven't been able to put the puck in the net,
right.
Which, whatever. Like, I think Wheeler's still got 4 goals, so fine. But Scheifele just cannot do it. He's hit the post more than almost anybody in the league to this point.
Yeah.
That's going to fix itself, then we'll see how it goes. But not going to give it to anyone on the third or fourth lines. Perreault's played good, but he's been moved out of his regular position. Lowry's struggled in the center role. Top line, until recently, hadn't looked that great. Jets defense, like we've already said, it's a gong show back there. So I think it's more of a, by process of elimination, probably.
Yeah. And there's a case to be made for Toby Enstrom, too. He's played well.
Yeah, so has Paul Postma.
Yeah.
Paul Postma's played great,
Paul
too.
Postma, exactly. So this is where we're getting to, right? Everybody, there's a few guys who have been better than average, but the average is so low that, should you really be considering it an MVP?
Should you really be giving a 9... I don't know what Neil City's got, whatever, this week, but...
954!
I don't think he's still over, 908, 910 maybe on the season.
Yeah.
Is that really what you want to be your MVP goaltender? I know you gave it to him a few years ago with those kind of numbers, but it's not really, What do you think's been the strong point of the team so far?
Strong point of the team? Well, I think, like you said, Wheeler's been doing pretty well. Obviously not the greatest luck from Scheifele. He's had a rough go. And, I've really liked... Paul Postman's been awesome. I've loved Toby Enstrom, but he's been doing what we have expected from him, and he's probably one of the only consistent players the Jets have right now. But yeah, I would go with taking from the D-core. It's got to be Toby Enstrom stepping up and playing his role that he normally does, and Paul Postma kind of stepping from the level that he was at and getting higher, exceeding expectations. And as far as forwards go, there's nothing really special there that's surprising me right now.
Yeah. What about the weak point? What do you think's been the absolute? Because like, I think the thing with the forward group is it's not that they're not they haven't been exactly what we expected, and I think a little bit of that has to do with injury stuff. But the weak, I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. Their forwards haven't been fantastic, and I think we're used to such a high level of play from guys like Ladd and Little and for a league and stuff like that. That's what we expect from them. So it's hard to say they've been a strong point when they haven't been anything past what we expect, like you were saying. Like, they haven't surpassed any expectations. It's easy, I think, to see the best players of the Jets defense because the rest of them have been so bad.
Yeah.
Like, Stuart and Trouba have looked brutal.
Yeah.
Yep. But what would you say that's been, those two have been the weak point? Like, if you were to pick one unit out of power play, penalty kill, forwards, defense, goaltending, what would you pick to kind of be that weak point, or like around the entire team as a whole?
As far as visually, you got to go with the defense, right? I mean, like you said, Stuart and Trouba have been so visibly brutal, and there's been, the two guys who stood out. There's Enstrom and there's Postma, and the only reason Postma's standing out is because he's doing more than we expected. The only reason Enstrom's standing out is because he's been doing what he's been doing this whole time, and everybody else has been so bad.
Yeah.
So
it is nice for him because other people would be like, "Wow, Toby Enstrom's not nearly as bad as I thought he was."
I heard Biak and Nighty, however you say it.
Nighty.
I heard
like Rubenik, drop the H.
Yeah, I heard them praising Enstrom on the Jets broadcast during the week, and I was like, "Am I hearing this correctly?" They must have maybe Biak got hit over the head or something, and is getting Stuart mixed up with Enstrom. I don't know. Because I've never heard him say a positive thing about Enstrom before. And they were just praising him up and down. Oh, he's consistent and always makes the right play and blah, 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 passing this and that and the other thing. I'm like, this is crazy. Where'd you guys get this idea from?
Things are changing finally.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's good for Enstrom anyways, getting some recognition.
But yeah, I think I'm with you on the defense. I think the power play is just it's been terrible.
Well, yeah, we talked about that last week too.
We talked about it consistently. Yeah. Before we kind of keep going with things here, Ed Tate wrote a bit of a... I honestly don't see if he does this all the time because I don't really pay too much attention to the Free Press because I think we all know my opinions on the local sports media as a whole here. Ed Tate's usually pretty good. He wrote a bit of a 10-point recap so far, what's going on with the Jets. And he wrote there that there's a thought that Pavlik could play 70-plus games this year.
That's a lot of games.
I was looking at the goaltending stats. He's played more games than anyone. He has 11 right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm assuming that was just an extrapolation from what's going on so far.
He probably has heard stuff from the Jets.
Okay, fair enough.
And he also mentioned that Hutch's poor game in LA, which, again, as a reminder, was on the end of a back-to-back, which, again, as a reminder, was against the fucking LA Kings.
Yeah.
Which, again, as a reminder, if you go check out my Michael Hutchison goalie breakdown, I barely blame him on one of those goals, but apparently his weak performance in that game, because, Andre Pavlik never has weak performances ever.
No.
Is a huge factor as to why Hutch isn't going to play much this year.
Was that the only game he played?
Yeah, it's the only time, except for one relief effort.
And they won the Stanley Cup last year.
Yes, that's the only game he's played.
In their building.
Yes.
And it was on a back-to-back.
Yes. Does that make sense to you, Neil?
Yeah, that was a fair chance for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
He didn't get thrown under the bus at all.
Nudes.
Honestly, the more you think about it,
What?
The evidence.
Why isn't it? Whoa, that's
off.
weird.
Oh,
we gotta fix this.
Technical difficulties, but the more you think about it, it's adding up. Everything is adding up to Chevy nudes.
I don't get it.
It's all there. The evidence is right in front of you. I mean, it's circumstantial, but it's there.
I thought you were saying something else was circumstantial. You started saying, I was like, whoa,
no.
what? Have you seen these nudes, Joe?
No. Oh, God.
I thought that was going a completely different direction.
There we go.
But
yeah, anyways.
How very interesting.
It's scary to think that Pavlik could play 70 games this year.
That's a lot of games.
He does nothing to really...
Is there any goalie in the league that should be playing 70 games? I mean, that's a lot of games.
There's not. There isn't. I get if you have a guy like Ben Bishop or Tuukka Rask or something like that, where you think, hey, let's ride our amazing Henrik Lundqvist level goaltender, but
if you have nobody decent to back him up, if you know for a
even
fact,
then, give him a break.
Yeah, if you know for a fact that you don't have somebody who can back him up and you have zero confidence in your backup goaltender and you have an amazing goaltender as your starter, then maybe you push 70, maybe, but that's brutal. Stupid. That's ridiculous.
And then you're expecting him to play an entire playoff run after that?
Yeah, exactly, if they make the playoffs, which is, I'm assuming, your goal.
You're going to kill a goalie if you do that.
Yeah,
it's stupid. But for some reason, that's what the Jets are going to go forward with.
I'd be interested to hear like an ex-NHL goalie's opinion on that.
Yeah.
Like a Jamie McLennan or something. I want to hear what they have to say about, a goalie playing 70 games in a season.
It's dumb. I can tell you I'm not a goalie. It's dumb.
Because, you're not going to hear it from a NHL goalie now. They're not going to give you their true
No, they're not
thoughts.
going to complain about it. They want to play. I get that. You want to play.
Exactly.
But your body's not going to hold up.
Right. So they're not going to give you their true thoughts. The only way you're going to get an actual real opinion is from a retired guy. So I'd be interested to hear that.
You know what this is a great matchup for, though?
What?
This is a great draft and develop way of going.
Yeah,
about it, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Really letting your young prospect goaltender play all those. Oh, well, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, that doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
Playing against the Stanley Cup champs and then hopefully, which is ridiculous to say, probably not hopefully, playing against, I don't know, the Chicago Blackhawks, who could have also been the Stanley Cup champs last year.
Yeah.
On its end of a back-to-back to...
Any word on...
I haven't heard anything
No? Nothing?
Yet, but,
okay.
Like... That's just really giving your kids a chance to succeed right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's almost as logical as signing Chris Thorburn for 3 years and then not having a spot for anybody, or, getting guys like Grant Clitsum and Mark Stewart signed to long-term deals so you can't get your other defensemen develop, and just letting Zach Redmond walk away to wherever he wants. I'm starting to catch some sort of trend.
Zach Redmond has been leading the Colorado defense since
he got into the lineup.
Since he's been in the lineup. It's almost like he's a good defenseman.
I hate Chevy. He's so... And I don't want to blame Paul Maurice, but he's the one making these calls, apparently. Or so you would think. But the more and more you watch it, and how little things have changed from the two coaches here, like...
It makes you wonder who's actually
making the decisions.
Calling the shots, yeah.
Who knows? You know who this would be good for, though?
What? Who?
Neil's fantasy team.
Yes.
Fuck yeah!
70 games started from one goaltender.
Pavelek my balls is doing quite well.
Let's do our fantasy update right now. Let's take a look here.
Please don't.
Joe's getting fucking ripped.
Tier.
The KHL All-Stars are destroying Joe's great team 10-2 right now.
Hey.
Mike Smith destroying
I brought it back. At one point I was down 11-0, so I'll take
Mike Smith is just murdering you, eh? Ben Bishop had a subpar week too. So Ben Bishop had an Andre Pavlik week.
That's the thing, is he can have a subpar week every now and then. He's human. But when you have Mike Smith as your other goalie, apparently you just can't have a subpar week from your other one.
Yeah, he is just killing you. Joe's getting annihilated.
I need to do some modifications to
You're
that.
You're down by like 6 in assists. You're down by 7 in goals. You're down by 7 in power play goals. You're down by 5 in power play assists. You have a shorthanded goal.
Yeah, I'm winning that one.
And you're winning saves.
Hey.
KHL All-Stars have gone 6-0 with their goaltenders this week with a 9-4. Who the hell does he have as goalies?
Yeah, tell me, actually. I'm curious.
Holy hell. Fleury and Miller having good weeks.
Wow, that's a sketchy, like,
Fleury's sketchy as hell.
Any other week, that's a sketchy pairing.
He benched Brian Elliott.
Well, maybe he had him playing when he played. He might have just benched him for today, because I don't know if the Blues are playing.
That's fine. No, he had him benched all week.
Oh.
And he went 2-0, so none of his goalies lost all week. It's a bad week for Joe. Burmistrov's nuts is beating fuck Corsi. Pretty well.
I'll bounce back, don't worry.
Yeah, so you say.
Who am I playing next week?
Who is Joe's great team playing next week? It's a good question. It's too much work right now. Let's finish going through this.
Okay.
Don't tase me, bro. Who is in last place is currently losing to playing for 8th. So that doesn't make sense at all.
Nope.
That's ironic.
Pavelek my balls is beating Scheif the Knife 8-3.
What's up?
Riding on Andre Pavlik's coattails. Jeez, that's weird.
First round draft pick coming through.
It's so stupid that Andre Pavlik has better numbers than Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
That is insanity. Who the heck else do you have? You have nobody else.
Don't say that. Fucking rude. Serious?
Seriously though, you're winning in all the goaltending categories.
Yeah,
everything else is like tied.
Pavlik my balls, man.
That's hilarious.
Just
wait for Pavlik to realize who he is again, and then things will play out. I'm beating Tessier. Pavel Lewelik is beating Morburn. My goaltenders. Corey Schneider, man.
Yeah.
He needs to get his stuff together here. Ben Scrivens, though.
Yeah, Scrivens is doing well.
Did you see his pass to nobody last night?
Scrivezna, no.
He takes the puck in his own end. There's an Oiler coming towards him one way, and he like backhands it to the other side of the ice. There's literally nobody there. Nobody there except for, I think they were playing the Canucks last night. Mm-hmm. Just sitting there, takes the puck, scores. I was like, what the... Ben Scrivens, you're a genius. What the hell was that? Where did your brain go? It was pretty bad.
It's gone.
Next week... you play me next week.
What?
Didn't I just play each other?
I think next week is the... Oh, yeah, it is.
Rivalry week?
It's rivalry week.
Decent.
So I played Joe. Bermistrov's Nuts plays What Did Chevy Do Today? So Pity and Arby go at it.
Oh, snap.
I did this one on purpose. Pavlik My Balls plays Seven Stains.
Nice.
All right.
Shife the Knife plays Morburn, playing the 8th place KHL All-Stars. Don't Tase Me Bro plays Fuck Corsi.
All right.
So, it'll be a good week. You're not coming back next week, Joe.
I think I am.
Although Taylor Hall's hurt, so I'm in some trouble here.
Yep.
I don't know if I try to stick it through or see what happens. 2 to 4 weeks with an MCL sprain. No!
Oh, I saw that already. I thought you knew.
No, I knew he was hurt. I didn't know how bad it was.
I figured you knew already.
Oh, no!
Excellent.
That is terrible. Okay, who should I put back in then? Danny Healy? Oh, I'm going to put Danny Healy in.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. Oh, Bob Cole called the game last night, too.
Nice.
We even got a great save, Pavlik. It was weird.
Oof.
Okay, so we brought up earlier that question of the Jets' defensive group.
Yes.
We know they're not good.
Mm-hmm.
But I've said quite often it's the worst group they've ever had. So I decided to look at that. Is this actually the worst defensive group? I didn't look at numbers. I want to get your opinions on this, Joe.
Okay.
It's 2011-2012. Jets defensive pairings. Enstrom and Bufflin. Hainsey and Bogosian.
Okay.
Oduya and Mark Flood.
Side note, do you remember when the Flood brothers used to... Or no, it was the Sweat brothers.
Yeah! Oh,
The Sweat brothers used to warm up together at MTS Center before the Moose games. They used to take clappers back and forth.
That.
Anyways, go ahead.
That was hilarious. Did you notice there was someone's name I didn't say in those top 3 pairings of Enstrom, Bufflin, Hainsey, and Bogosian, Oduya, and Flood?
I didn't hear Mark Stewart. Am I crazy?
It's because Mark Stewart and Paul Postma were the 4th pairing that year.
Paul Postma was in the 4th pairing. Oh, crazy.
Which means they didn't see the ice very much.
Yeah, no kidding.
Almost logical.
Yeah.
That they're a better defenseman than Mark Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not remembering incorrectly here, wasn't that the year that the Jets did like best at home and best they've done?
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure... Oh, Neil, do you want to look up and see what Pavlik's best save percentage season was?
Oh, here we go. This could be interesting.
I should have listened to this too.
This could be interesting.
Absolutely.
Randy Jones, Derek Meach were also in the lineup that year.
Yeah, I love the Enstrom and Bufflin first pairing. That's awesome. I love the
Hainsey Bogo?
Hainsey Bogo is meh, but whatever. I love Oduya. Love that.
Just like to point out, Oduya was on the 3rd goddamn pairing that year.
Yeah, he's just like, the top shutdown guy on Chicago. No big deal.
Not good enough to play up the lineup in Winnipeg, but he can play all the shutdown minutes in Chicago.
He plays all the shutdown minutes with Nick Hjalmarsson in Chicago on a Stanley Cup contender team for the past however many 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
no big deal.
Now, are we counting the Screaming Eagles?
No, his best Jets season.
That's an amazing name, by the way. Holy crap! Right now, actually, this season, 2014-15, is at the top at 921. However,
last night was
Thrashers was his best at 914, but for the Jets was in 2011-12 at 906.
Oh, that's weird. That year, where they had Enstrom and Buff together with Hainsey and Bogo, because Hainsey carried Bogo all year.
Oh, yeah.
Oduya and Flood playing together. Oh, weird. That's so weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was the best year of Andre Pavlik's Jets tenure. That's weird to me.
Funny how that works. And he wasn't in the best shape of his life, because that's him right now, apparently.
Yeah.
So, apparently, not in good shape Andre Pavlik is better when he plays with a way better defensive core.
Yeah, that's just weird to me.
So,
but you know what? They decided it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Let's see what we do next year. Goodbye, Johnny Oduya.
Yes.
Go play your amazing minutes on an amazing team. Go play your tough minutes, because you're not good enough for here. But we got Mark Stewart, man.
Oh, perfect.
We have Mark motherfucking Stewart. You can't beat us.
You got me twice now.
Yeah.
Enstrom and Bufflin, top pairing. Fine. You're doing great. Good start, boys. Hainsey and Bogo. Oh, look, it's getting better.
Yeah.
It's getting better. It's all right. Okay. You know,
Yeah.
It's Hainsey's turn to be hated on by every face of the earth, every human in Winnipeg, because Oduya's gone now. No more throwing pizzas. Stuart and Clitsum. They both got signed for the same contract. I mean, might as well both have them on third pairing.
Fair enough.
Postma, Meach, and Redmond were also just around.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So you lost Johnny Oduya, who, only went on to do all those amazing things that we've talked about. Pretty sure, did he win a Stanley Cup that year?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, he won a Stanley Cup that year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
That is
Just a
weird.
coincidence.
Yeah.
Other than that, looks like they only got worse to me.
Yeah, definitely.
You traded a guy who went on to win a Stanley Cup and things for Mark Stewart.
Yeah.
Mark Motherfuckin Stuart.
Mark Motherfuckin Stuart. Won that one.
Yeah, we're winning.
Yeah.
It's doing great things, right?
Yeah.
Last year, Dustin Bufflin is no longer on the top pairing as of like halfway through the year. Because you know what? We're that fucking good.
Yeah.
We are that good defensively. We don't need the guy to be on our top pairing. We can just do whatever we want because we have such great depth in this organization. We've drafted and we've developed. Wait a second. Have I seen any of these draft picks come through here yet?
I'm going to say no.
I guess Jacob Trouba did come in.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know what? We're going to put all our eggs in that basket.
Is that Mark?
That's Jacob Trouba on the screen.
Wow.
Where did you find that picture, Neil?
Reddit. Yeah, someone went to... This is Trouba's freshman year. Someone posted this to hockey Reddit, and it got quite popular. So.
Wow.
He looks like me right now without any
Yeah,
facial
that's
hair.
actually, Travis shaved his beard, and that's, it's pretty accurate.
Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm rattled right now.
Yeah. That was me when I picked you up to come to the podcast.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen this guy without a beard for like over a year. And he gets in my car and he's got this
November, man.
He's got this no beard face, and I'm like, what is that?
I'll get to that in a minute.
Get that out
Don't
of here.
worry about that. Enstrom and Clitsum now are your top pairing. Because, Bogosian gets hurt. Bufflin's not there anymore. Let's put Clitsum. Oh, Clitsum hurt his back too. So no one to play with Enstrom because, Bufflin's not good enough to do
Now
it.
everybody hate on Enstrom because he has nobody to play with.
Everyone hate on Enstrom. It's all his fault. Stewart somehow, this is getting weird now. Stewart's getting older and older, but somehow he's moving up the lineup. I'm starting to get this tendency of the Jets believing in old people somehow doing things they've never done before.
Yes.
Got it in net. It's working great back there. So let's do it in our defensive pairings too. Let's throw a kid with him as well. Let him learn from this guy who's never been more than a third liner in his life.
Yeah.
The guy who we think is going to be our franchise defenseman. Let's throw him with this guy who's never been better than a third liner. See if he doesn't pick up any bad tendencies. He should be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
No big deal. All those rookie mistakes will be covered for perfectly from this guy who's never been better than a third liner on any team he's ever played for. It's alright, though. Third pairing? Party and Ellerby. Remember 2 years ago when we had this guy who's now playing on a Stanley Cup contending team, playing their toughest minutes ever on our third pairing? And now we have these two guys who we've picked up off waivers.
Yeah.
As our third pairing? Doesn't sound like they're getting any better to me.
Sounds like they got worse.
It's really weird to me. Let's just It's
Strange.
It's just strange little coincidence there.
Yeah.
Then you got this year. Enstrom and Bogosian. Bogosian, that guy who's, getting pulled by Hainsey for his entire career. Injury problems. Never really shown anything.
Yeah.
You know what? Top pairing.
Of course.
That's what we do.
He earned it.
We're drafting and developing, right?
Yeah. Well, they drafted Bogo.
Atlanta drafted Bogo.
Yeah, well, it's...
And he was basically an NHLer, so they haven't done shit with Bogo. They've just had him there and let him get hurt, let him have surgeries, and let him do things that neither of us do.
Yes.
And then, Stuart and Trouba, there were no problems last year. We don't need to change anything. In fact, we're going to sign one of these guys to a 3-more-year deal. We're going to make the other one the face of everything. Plaster him all over the MTS Center. Plaster him all over the Iceplex. He's our big guy. He's going to play with Mark Stewart. Because that's a good life decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our third pairing, they're fine. Let's get Grant Clitsum, Paul Postma. A Party and Ellerby there too. They could have been gone. We could have improved. We could have let some of our young guys take a shot. But no. We're all right. Because we're the motherfucking Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
We have Mark motherfucking Stewart.
And we're amazing at defense.
So in the matter of 3 years, we went from Enstrom and Buff, one of the best top pairings in the NHL, statistically. Hainsey and Bogosian.
Which is decent.
You know what?
Yeah,
it's a serviceable second pairing.
yeah.
Oduya and Flood. So half of that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what would really be nice right now?
What?
If you can go with, like, you know, I don't know, Enstrom and Buff, who both still play for the Jets. That's
Yes.
realistic.
But
It's a
that's-
very realistic top pairing, you know.
But apparently it's just not realistic.
Even if you got rid of Rod Hainsey,
Yeah.
Oduya and Bogosian,
Yeah.
or, I don't know, Oduya and Trouba maybe.
Ooh. Interesting.
I don't know. Oduya Trouba looks like a decent second pairing defenseman to me.
Possibly.
You'd only required him to sign here for a couple more years. Things could have happened, so whatever. See how it goes. And then, I don't know, literally anybody else for our third pairing? That'd be great.
Yep.
The Postma and Hainsey. Hainsey and Bogo down there. Seems pretty realistic to me. At least they wouldn't have gotten worse. Because all they've done in the last however long has literally gotten worse. And I seriously think this is the worst group of defensemen that this team has come out with.
Yeah, I think so.
They are.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yep.
And
right now they're not dealing with injuries.
yeah, exactly.
So just wait till that happens.
Yeah, because that'll be really fun.
That'll be really good.
Speaking of injuries, you want to get into the things we learned this week?
Sure.
Okay, let's get into the things we learned this week.
If you're going to do a segue for yourself, because I'm assuming yours is an injury.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Mine is that the hockey gods hate the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Okay.
That is the thing I learned this week. The Columbus Blue Jackets, I think Steve Dangle put it perfectly. The current Columbus Blue Jackets and the current Boston Bruins could come together and make one healthy team. Because
I did see him say that.
the Blue Jackets last night lost another guy in Cody Golubeff, I think's his name.
Sure.
Scott Hartnell might get suspended for a hit he had.
Okay.
So that was just last night. They've lost Artem Anisimov, Cam Atkinson, Nick Foligno, Curtis McElhaney was out for a part this year, Calvert, James Wisniewski, Brandon Dubinsky,
Are you kidding
Sergei
me?
Boobrovsky, Boone Jenner, Nathan Horton.
Wait,
Wow.
is someone saying Boom Jenner?
Boone Jenner.
Boone. Still cool.
Yeah, still a good name.
That's 10 guys.
That sucks 2 weeks into the season.
They've gotten guys hurt in games. They've had guys hurt in preseason. They've had guys hurt in practice. They've had 6 of their top 9 forwards are currently not in the lineup.
Oh.
And that's assuming that Hartnell doesn't get hurt.
Can you imagine the Jets lineup with 6 of their top 9 forwards not there? because
They've
of injury?
lost their best offensive defenseman.
My goodness.
And they've lost their Vezina winning goaltender.
Wow.
That is brutal.
That is crazy.
Seriously, that's where I was going to go with this. Could you imagine if that happened to the Jets?
No, I actually...
We're talking about a top line, including Chris Thorburn in all likelihood.
I literally cannot imagine what would happen in that situation. Like, I wouldn't even be able to give you a realistic what would happen. That's nuts.
Let's just think about that for a second. Who the heck is on the rock right now? You're going to have...
Odell is going to come up,
Odell?
obviously. Klingberg, I guess.
Who'd have to clear waivers, by
Yes.
the way. Klingberg,
Will O'Neill.
JC Lapon, Nick Patan can't come up.
No.
Unless you make an emergency call up.
Which, I don't know.
Like-
Oh, that's nuts.
You have... Your lineup would literally be... If the top 6 was just magically gone,
Yeah.
Perreault, Lowry, and Buff. There's your top line.
Okay.
Thorburn, Slater, Peluso is your second line.
Okay. Third line.
Halischuk, Odell, and Lapon maybe. Maybe Cormier if he's healthy.
Okay. And then
There's your third
fourth
line.
is...
Fourth line is
who the
I
hell
don't know.
knows? Wow. And then you can consider best offensive defenseman being injured, so take Enstrom out of the situation there.
At this point, either him or Trouba. But
Yeah,
yeah I'd
either
probably
one.
say if you want to be realistically comparable,
Yeah.
you're losing Enstrom.
Yeah, exactly.
So your top pairing is now Mark Stewart and Zach Bogosian. Second pairing. Oh no, wait, hold on. No, your top pairing could probably become Mark Stewart and Trouba.
Yeah, most
to be
likely.
fair. Here.
Yeah.
Which again, Mark Stewart is now your top pairing defenseman.
That's fun times.
Bogosian and Klitzman are probably your second pairing, and then Party, Ellerby, and Postma are just getting mixed around in there.
That's horrible.
Honestly, you might be upgrading because Hutchinson's your starting goaltender.
Yeah.
Your backup is Budai.
Decent.
I don't
Take
like
that.
Budai. I don't like Budai. So all the strange thing is you might actually improve your goaltending in that situation. But if you want to go career numbers, you still suck with Pavlik. Like, oh my God, how are they a team?
Yeah, that's crazy. And if Boston is anywhere close to that,
well, they've got like Chara, they've traded away Boychuk, like, yikes,
brutal.
But how is Columbus doing that right now?
That is nuts.
I feel bad for them.
Yep, I agree. That's brutal.
What did you learn this week, Joe?
What I learned this week: Johnny Gaudreau knows how to dangle. I don't know if any of you saw that.
I did not.
Unbelievable. He had his first NHL goal against Nashville, but that was not the best part of that game. He absolutely undressed the entire Nashville defense and almost slotted it home. Barely, like, Rene made a save, and, 9 times out of 10, he could have slid it 5-hole and it would have worked, but one of the best dangles I think I've ever seen. You gotta check it out. It was just so smooth.
Where can you find this,
You can just...
Whoa, I'm watching... Okay, wait.
You can just
probably do this.
Like, Google
Gaudreau
or
dangles?
YouTube it. Yeah, just YouTube Gaudreau dangles Predators.
It was against the Preds?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Gaudreau dangles Predators.
Yeah.
We're doing this. This is going to be great podcasting right here.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what I learned. And, I'm kind of hoping that he sticks around in the league because apparently he's still, to this day, living in an apartment in downtown Calgary.
Because why? You just might...
Because he doesn't know if he's going to be staying or not. Oh. So he's just living in a hotel. So I hope with hands like that he works his way into the lineup permanently because, just mad dangles.
Are we getting it here, Neil?
I'm trying here. Because, all
right, well, that's going on. We'll see if we can get that going. I'd love to do a Joe's Great Team of the Week.
But we can't.
But Joe decided not to do a Great Team of the Week because nobody was worthy of his honors.
It's not up to me, Travis. You gotta live up to the expectations.
So apparently Joe requires teams to actually do something great to be a Great Team of the Week, which is fair. On a personal note, I would have given it to the Carolina Hurricanes because they won a game.
Well, it's not Travis's Great Team of the Week, is it?
I don't hold that great honor.
Nope.
I don't have to live with that pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Of
you know
deciding
what?
who gets Joe's Great Team of the Week.
With great Team of the Week comes great responsibility.
I don't know. I would have given it to Carolina Hurricanes because they didn't win a single game in October.
That sucks.
That's a whole month.
They are pretty bad.
And
apparently the game that they did win was on the back of their goaltender.
They're on a back-to-back, and Cam Ward shut out the Arizona Coyotes, who were surprisingly... I thought they'd be bad. I didn't think they'd be worse than the Jets bad.
Yeah, they're pretty horrible.
They've been awful to start the year. Yep. It was a weird night in the NHL last night.
Very strange.
Pavlik stood on his head. Carolina won a game. Arizona?
You keep saying Arizona.
Arizona has been brutal.
Arizona.
What the heck is wrong with me?
I don't know.
It's just... this is very, very weird. Okay, well, Neil, do you have a thing that you learned this week, or are you going to get that rolling first?
I'm trying to get this video up. My phone's not working. Oh, look, it's mirroring my phone now.
Cool.
I heard that CBC got the rights again
that
for the Olympics, which is sweet.
Did they? I didn't know that.
Because they did a really good job last year.
Here we go.
Is this happening now?
Loading? This is great listening for those of you not watching it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're watching this.
Here comes some dangles.
Watch it on YouTube, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just take that.
Oh, he didn't score.
No, he didn't.
That
he ended up,
sucks.
but he did get the game-winning goal.
So when people cross people in the NBA and they don't hit the
I know, and don't hit the shot? Come on. I don't even play basketball. I know you got to hit the shot after that.
Well, yeah, then it's not even a highlight.
No. But, he actually ended up getting his first NHL goal, which turned out to be the game winner, I believe.
Wow, who's that guy that he just left there?
Just like...
He, stopped moving.
Yeah, he did.
That was disgusting.
One of the only dangles I've seen that was above
you're skating backwards and you just...
Oh, he just stopped.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was dirty.
The only dangle I've seen recently that's better than that is that at the end of last season, Pavel Datsyuk made Logan Couture fall down, and that was a good one. That was one of my all-time favorite dangles. If you want to just laugh at professional hockey players being made to look like amateurs by other professional hockey players, that's a good one.
That is a good one. Okay, one more thing we're going to talk about Jets-wise. Wait, Neil, was that your thing you learned this week? CBC got the Olympics back?
Yeah, I heard that on the radio. But no, I just thought they did such a good job. You could watch anything at any time. And I think they're working with Rogers Sportsnet again, as well as Bell even. So
the only thing I didn't like about the Olympics last year, or the CBC coverage, was that their apps and stuff were not ready to carry how many people were going to be watching certain things.
The streaming wasn't...
Yeah, because I was trying to stream on multiple occasions. Because I had work, and so did most humans. But anytime you're trying to stream anything on either their website or the apps, it was so bad and just so glitchy and brutal. And I feel like they just weren't prepared for literally all of Canada to be watching their stuff. And it was so slow. Like I had to watch that Canada-USA game with it freezing like every 30 seconds. And
that's so tough.
It was crazy because it was a 0-0 game, and then it was like 1-0 going into the end of the third period, and we're just like, please don't freeze, please don't freeze, please don't freeze. But you just know everyone's starting to tune in because it's the end of the game and it's a 1-goal game, and it was just getting slower and slower. And I was like, I want to tweet, but I don't know if it's anywhere near live, and I don't want this to ruin the ending for me. And it was just terrifying. But yeah, other than that, I thought they did a great job. So
hopefully the technology's gotten better since then.
Yep, they'll learn from their mistakes.
Pay for a few more servers or something.
I feel like I'm completely blanking here, but where is the next Winter Olympics?
That's a great question. I think I forget it's 2008 Pyeongchang.
Oh yeah, it's in like Korea or something.
Yeah, and then Tokyo's got the 2020 Summer Olympics.
Cool. All right. So one more thing Jets related before we kind of start wrapping things up here. Evander Kane's back.
Yeah.
And he's
I was
hilarious,
going to ask you guys that if he's back.
Yeah, he's back. He sent out an absolutely hilarious tweet when he first got back, telling Mark Scheifele to stay 10 feet away from him on the ice for the first 10 minutes. And then he tweeted it again today with him being like, the kid didn't listen, and they're celebrating a goal together. It was hilarious. But Joe.
Yes.
What effect do you think Evander Kane being back will have? What do you think the biggest benefit of him being back is for the Jets?
Well, it's going to round out the lineups that we originally were hoping for to see at the beginning of the year, which we saw for the first 5 minutes of the first game of the season. And I mean, I know for myself that Wheeler, Scheifele, Kane line was a line that I wanted to watch and see for a big chunk to playing together consistently. And I think that was one of the things we touched on in the season preview was if they can consistently play together, barring injuries, etc. Really that fell apart right away. So hopefully they'll get some time together now to work things out and be what I hope they can be, which is pretty electric scoring line.
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm with you there too. Although everyone keeps talking about, the Jets haven't scored any goals, blah, 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 they haven't scored any goals. They're one of the best possession teams in the league at 5-on-5 right now, which I think a lot of people are counting for. They hadn't been within a goal of a lot of teams, and a lot of those numbers it's close scores. So it's either it's score effects or it's the one game they were really close in the entire thing was against Colorado, and they absolutely lit them up, so that really pulled their numbers up. I think last night might have pulled it down. I haven't checked today yet. But I think the biggest effect is that it gets those lines back to what you were kind of hoping they'd be. You don't have Chris Thorburn playing too high. You aren't mixing guys around. You can have your scoring line. You can have your shutdown line. Hopefully Paul Maurice stops giving the fourth line so many offensive zone faceoffs. I don't know why he keeps doing that. I get that you need to protect them, but stop taking away scoring opportunities on goddamn Chris Thorburn.
Yeah.
There's 0 point of that. He's playing 3 minutes a game, and that's 3 minutes in the scoring zone that you could be giving to Evander Kane. Start them in the neutral zone, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, just evening out those lines is probably going to help fix some of those scoring issues. Evander Kane's not going to score 800 goals by himself. This is not realistic, as good as he is. So hopefully they can get some balance. Hopefully they can get things going, and we'll see how it is from there. Joe, do you have a spelling bee at least for today?
I do have a spelling bee.
Yes, okay, let's do our spelling bee.
On the topic of Evander Kane being back, he delivered a hit on Saturday night that actually forced one of the Rangers players to leave the game with a shoulder contusion. And now he's injured. I don't know how long he'll be out for.
Separated shoulder.
But the player in question is Mr. Ryan McDonough.
It'd be nice if my keyboard worked here.
Ooh, handicap already.
This is not good.
Ryan McDonough.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what the hell's going on here? There we go.
Yeah, right.
That's not right. Which part of that's wrong?
Ryan McDonough. Oh, God. Oh, this one's harder than most. Because I feel like it should be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually infuriating. Neil, whenever you're ready.
It's actually infuriating.
No, I'm not ready. I'm usually ready. All right, let's do this.
Okay, give me what you got.
R-Y-A-N, Ryan, McDonough, M-C, Big D, U-N-N-A.
Okay. Travis?
Okay, well, Ryan. R-Y-A-N.
I was nice enough to pre-give you both Ryan.
McDonough is M-C.
Yep.
D-O-N, a.k.a. you're fucked.
Okay. Yes, and...
A.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a U there?
We don't know.
We don't... Well, I know. You got...
No, there's no U there. G-H.
Nails it.
Oh!
Travis with the victory. Well done.
Thank you,
Ryan
thank you.
McDonough. Yes, M-C, Big D, as Neil says, O-N-A-G-H. Here's your fun fact. This is something it could be neither here nor there, but I thought was kind of an interesting coincidence.
Well, then where is it?
It's somewhere. In 2006...
But then it has to be there.
Yeah, it could be over there, though.
It's confusing.
In 2006/7, McDonough won Minnesota's Mr. Hockey Award for the top high school senior player in the state. The guy who won that the year before him was David Fischer. He now plays in the Dutch League, whatever. But the year after David Fischer won that Mr. Hockey Award, he was drafted the first overall pick by the Montreal Canadiens. Ha! Yeah, well, that obviously didn't work out. But interesting thing, so obviously the year that he was drafted by the Canadiens was the year that McDonough won this Mr. Hockey Award. After McDonough won that Mr. Hockey Award, the year after, he was drafted first overall by the Montreal Canadiens.
How very interesting.
Yes, very interesting.
It is very interesting.
I don't know if there's like some sort of connection there or what. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but...
You know what? That's what this segment is for. Coincidences and just weird things.
Exactly.
Sound insane.
Yep.
Show, stop sounding so
Maybe
damn
there's
insane.
a guy in the Canadian scouting staff who's from Minnesota. I don't know, but...
We don't know.
I'm having so much fun
Yeah,
right
Neil's
now.
just loading these things up.
We're setting you up for these ones.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Yeah,
this
that
is-
one's...
We need to fix that.
I don't know why it's like that.
Anyways, there's
Okay,
your fun fact.
that's about it for us today. A couple things before we go. First of all, in case you didn't notice my, well, not so clean-shaven face, it's like sandpaper right now. This is so awkward.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Anyways,
my
there's
face is
not...
very cold.
There's not a beard there.
There is no fur on my face. That's because I'm participating in Movember again this year. So if you want to donate, go to the Movember website, look up my last name, Hrubeniuk. I'm the only one with that last name on there. There's a really awkward picture of me just sitting there just like, yeah, smelling all weird. So go donate to my page. It would be awesome and greatly appreciated. It goes to a great cause. If you don't know anything about Movember, you should read up on their website. Second thing, I was on the Phil Nason's show this week on Friday. I'm apparently going to become a regular guest. It's a sports talk show out of Akron, Ohio.
Of course.
What?
Yeah, so of
course
he
it is.
was looking for some NHL talk, and he found me through Justin Rowan. So apparently Rowan's on there twice a week talking NBA and whatnot.
Oh, so you wanted some
and-
NHL content?
Yeah, so he wants some NHL stuff. So apparently I'm going to be making regular Friday appearances on there.
Right on.
I'll post the link for my first one there. It's not really on. I think I'll post it either on here or I'll post
Is
it
it?
somewhere.
Sorry, is this a radio show or is it a podcast? Or...
I believe it's a radio show.
okay. Cool.
I did a bit of reading into it, but not too much because I was kind of busy this week.
Yeah.
I love this music right now.
Everything you say sounds better with this music.
Yeah.
It does. But yeah, I'll somewhere I'll post the original time I was on there. We basically just talk some NHL stuff. We talk about the chance of the LA Kings repeating and who I think's going to win the East and stuff like that. It's about a 15-minute segment, but it was great. So check out the Phil Nason show. I believe there's a podcast for it as well. But yeah, like I said, that's about it for us this week. Unless you guys have anything special you want to say.
Nope.
The Walking Dead is on tonight. The Jets play tonight. I still don't know who's the starting goaltender, so somebody please tell me. If you
How do you
want
spell Phil Nason?
Phil Nason. Phil, and then his last name's Naessens.
That is a really good spelling bee one. I never would have guessed that.
Could have been.
Naessens.
Oh, perfect. So now that ended, we can actually have the final wrap-up music going. If you want to stay in touch with the podcast, check us out at JetStream Pod on Twitter, #JetStream. Website's www.jetstreampodcast.com. Or email us at jetstreampodcast@gmail.com. If you want to get to me on Twitter, it's at THRUBENIUK. Joe on Twitter at JW_Clark20. Neil on Twitter at Neil Noonan. An account followed our account, by the way, the Jetstream Podcast account today, that was like in the profile it said Heart Andre Pavlik, so I feel like we're going to lose them really quickly.
Oh, well, we'll see how that goes. I got followed by an account the other day called Girls and Money.
Beautiful.
So, I don't know. I was like, why? But whatever.
I often find myself asking that.
Yeah.
One of the first Twitter accounts that followed me was like the Ultimate Triads, and I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's like that thing for a while that when you first join Twitter, only porn stars follow you.
Yeah.
Or like Twitter.
Panache Modeling Company or whatever, everybody in Winnipeg.
Because I remember when I first joined Twitter, I the only people I followed was like Andrew Ladd and Travis and like a couple of my other friends and then a few other Jets.
Because it made you go on Twitter.
And then like I go on my phone one day and like 10 porn stars had followed me, and I was like, what?
I don't remember that ever happening.
Really?
To me, so
Okay.
it's probably
Apparently,
just you.
No. I talked to people about this. Apparently, it was a thing for a while. I don't know if it still is.
It definitely happened to me.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Well, I just feel bad about myself right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
Maybe.
stars are like, yeah, Neil, you were my first follower.
Get out of here.
Yeah, Neil Noonan. Kevin Turner was the second one, and then the Toronto Maple Leafs for my third. Because all I ever used to do was tweet at the Leafs account.
That's pretty sad.
all I used to
That
do.
is so sad.
Tweet
Travis.
about the Leafs at the Leafs account.
Sad.
But yeah, where is it here? I know it's in here somewhere. Sports Blood. Yeah, there. Major Triads.
Major Triads.
See?
Huh. It's like a rapper or something?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Major Triads.
Interesting.
That was my first venture into the rap game, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everybody for listening. Subscribe and rate us on iTunes if you get a chance. You should get a chance when you're listening to this, so please do it. Give us a rating if I did say that as well. Check out arcticguyshockey.com. A lot of game day stuff on there. You'll find all my posts about goaltending on there, and you'll find awesomeness in general on there, because we're amazing. But yeah, thank you guys all for listening. Hopefully the Jets get another win tonight, and yeah, go Jets go.